Welcome to her comeback. I'm so glad you're back with me. This is where 50 isn't your finish line. It is your starting point, the starting point of everything you want your life to be, the person that you are meant to be. I'm your host, Michelle Thompson, and we are proving that your best chapter may just be the one you haven't written yet. We'll continue each episode featuring honest conversation with women who have stopped going at it alone and have found their way to fulfillment, joy, and purpose in their second act. You'll hear about their struggles, their breakthroughs, and the practical steps that they took to create lives that they actually love. This podcast will show you how other women have made their comeback and how you can too. Welcome back.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Her Comeback. I'm your host, Michelle Thompson, and I am so thrilled today to have Dr. Julie Merriman, all the way from Texas, joining us. Dr. Merriman is a counselor, educator, licensed clinician, speaker, and author with over 2 decades of experience helping high-achieving women over 50 navigate burnout, compassion fatigue, and nervous system depletion. She's the author of In Pursuit of Soul Joy and has a book coming out this spring that we'll talk about. She also hosts 2 podcasts, which are both Compassion Fatigue Cure and Sexy After 50. So Julie, welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad to have you today.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. Just so honored.
Thank you. Well, let's kind of jump into it and learn a little bit more about you here. So you work with high achieving women who are still functioning, but barely. Were you ever one of those women yourself?
Oh, girl, I crashed and burned again. Yes, my book, In Pursuit of Soul Joy, is my journey back. Talk about how I crashed.
What was your own turning point?
These things, it's so subtle because we're over functioning, we're bracing, we just push through. We're like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I don't want to, but I'm going to. You just push and push and push. So it's so subtle as it hits. But I remember I was on stage speaking. And even a standing ovation. It had gone very well. I came off of stage and I was just all but in tears. I was so numb. I couldn't understand why I couldn't feel any of the things that were happening. And that was really the moment when I realized something wasn't right. I should be feeling, I should be being, I should be in my skin and feel alive. And I just felt dead. I just felt like just a walking head of competence. I wasn't even attached to my body at that point.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can identify with that. So you say you didn't arrive at this work through just a trend or theory. You arrived there through decades of watching what actually happens to women. And it sounds like from your own experience who carry responsibility for a living. What did you keep seeing that nobody was talking about?
These women were so successful, so just over the top, unbelievable that they could accomplish the things they accomplish. They couldn't take a compliment, but they couldn't take a compliment. They were not feeling what they were doing. They felt like somehow something was wrong with them. They should be doing more. And that seemed to be a pattern. And they were unhappy. Not with their husband, not with their children, maybe not even with their job, but they were just unhappy with the life, how it was rolling. So many demands, not being able to set boundaries, feeling like it all comes down to nervous system regulation, truth be told. This is a very dysregulated nervous system. And that was something I really noticed when it came to let me set a boundary. I can't do that. If I set a boundary, the saber-toothed tiger that's chasing me is going to eat me.
Right.
Or that really seemed to be a pattern. They felt selfish if they were going to do something for themselves. And rest just kicked them into a state of guilt. I can't rest. What do you mean rest? Didn't even know how to rest.
Yes.
Forgetting that even helpers, because a lot of the women I work with are counselors, doctors, nurses, educators, professional helpers. you forget how to receive because you're so busy giving, and
Right.
that, everyone needs to take care of themselves. It's not selfish.
Oh, absolutely. And I hear you. There's so many women that struggle with that, that it's just exactly what you said. It's like, oh, if I do that for me, I'm selfish. How do you get beyond that mindset? Do you have thoughts on that?
Well, I do. It's not something we can think our way out of. And being a good cognitive behavioral therapist,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Well, think your way out of that, Merriman." You cannot. It is, you've got to get embodied. You've
Yeah.
got to feel what you need to feel. And that's what we try to do, girl. Let's think our way out of this. I got a good head on my shoulders. I'm going to think my way out of this. It's not going to work until you get embodied, feel what you need to feel, and then something magical happens. You start spontaneous joy. You feel
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Somehow your skin fits better. I mean, it's just amazing when you can allow yourself some of those things you're afraid of. And I think fear is a big fat liar. Everything
Yeah.
we need is on the other side of that,
Yeah.
often.
Oh, I believe that as well. Oh, so true. So true. So most people picture when you say just the word burnout, they get like this dramatic collapse, but you have described it as showing up more quietly as a flatness or a numbness or a loss of desire. So walk us through the look and feel of it that you've seen with your clients.
Well, one thing that comes to mind, and these were interns. When you train to be a counselor, you have a graduate degree, then you have to be with a supervisor for 3,000 hours before you're fully licensed. So this was when burnout really came on my radar. I'd see these bubbly, vivacious interns coming in going, woohoo, let's do
Mm,
this. Then
yeah.
maybe 6 months later, they come in and they're just dragging their bodies across the floor like Igor, and I'm just talking to these
Yeah.
people. They were burning out. They were not setting boundaries. They were not taking
Mm,
the time for themselves. It is a loss of self.
mm,
We become buried under our responsibilities. That woman,
mm,
that luscious, wonderful woman that is within us becomes so buried by
mm,
responsibilities and
mm,
overfunctioning and
mm.
swallowing our truth to keep the peace, which lands in our heart chakra. I do a lot of chakra psychology as
Mhm.
resentment,
Yeah.
and then that brings up shame because how dare we have that feeling? And I mean,
Yes.
it really lands in that if I had to say it in a word, it's your that loss of self. We lose her.
Yeah, I can definitely identify that. And that overfunctioning, that I am an overfunctioner. That is me. So you make an important distinction, though, that these aren't psychological failures, but they're physiological responses. So
Right.
why does that reframe matter so much with women, do you think?
Well, I think first, first and foremost, like I said, you can't think your way out of it. Shame, we've done something
Mm,
wrong. I'm weak. I'm broken. I know I'm 63. My hormones are gone,
yeah.
whatever it might be. We think we've done something wrong, and then we're ashamed to talk about it. So we suffer in silence because if I've failed, evidently, if I've got this, gosh, what's going on? And it's physiological. Our nervous system is not made to stay in survival state all the time. And when we're
Mhm,
functioning, we brace our pelvic floor. It gets in the way of the bedroom life. We're bracing
mhm,
all the time. That
mhm,
vagus nerve is just like
mhm,
this. Polyvagal system is completely out of whack.
mhm,
We wonder why a bubble bath or a vacation doesn't make us feel better. We're still exhausted. Well, because we've got to do the nervous system work before. When our nervous system is completely activated, that frontal cortex that we
mhm,
use to do those mind, just meditate, do a mind or the mind apps. I'm
mhm,
not saying that right, but
mhm,
the apps that help us, calm or whatever it might be. If our frontal cortex is not fully online, those aren't going to work until we get that nervous system regulated
mhm,
and allow that cocktail of adrenaline and cortisol that we're living on because that we're bracing And that nervous system is like, well, fine, we're in survival state. She sure doesn't want
Yeah.
pleasure. That's coming offline.
Right.
Digesting meals, we'll see.
Mm. Yeah.
Because when your
Right.
nervous system is activated, anything that's going to get in the way of running from that saber-toothed tiger is shut down to
Mhm.
survive. And yeah, that served our forefathers who were dealing with the saber-toothed tigers, but they're in the zoo now. We don't have
Yeah.
to. Our body does not believe we're safe.
Mm.
So it's not going to relax
Yeah.
until we get that nervous system regulated and let our body know we're safe. And I don't mean like someone's going to hit us. I mean, oh my God, I'm going to miss a deadline. Oh my God, did I
Mhm.
forget to pick the kids
Right.
up? Oh my God, I missed that appointment, whatever. A dysregulated nervous system is what is behind burnout. That is my theory. I'm
Okay.
sticking with it.
Yes.
That
Yes. And I understand that. It's like staying in a constant state of fight or flight, like with everything, whatever it is in our life, we're constant fight or flight.
constant fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And a lot of us
Hmm.
gals fawn. People pleasing. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yes.
fawning. Like, let me appease so you won't kick me out of the tribe because once upon a time
Mm,
that happened. So, and
yeah.
that overfunctioning will slip in when we're appeasing too. We know what
Yes.
someone needs before they know what they need.
Yes.
And that keeps our nervous system so activated. And pleasure is the first thing to go to. And because the body says, well, she don't need that. Our brain is
Hmm.
very stingy with energy. You don't need
Hmm.
that. So I'm going to
Hmm.
put all your energy here. Yeah, constantly, constantly. And all the hormones that dump, not the nice hormones, that stress cocktail of the adrenaline and cortisol,
Right.
which slides over into our immunosuppression. You get more colds, you're the first one to get the flu, you have a constant sinus infection. Just yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
it's just not good.
Yeah. So you mentioned also identity erosion as one of the symptoms. So that phrase is striking. What do you mean by that? And what's actually happening underneath that?
Yeah, and we've hit on a little bit. It's identity erosion is when we're so busy performing. And I don't mean like we're being fake. I mean, I'm mom, so I've got to do these things. I'm the dean, which
Hmm.
I do that for a while. So I've got to do these things. I'm a wife. I've got to we're so busy doing and performing that we've lost sight of who we actually are. It
Right.
erodes. It's that swallowing our truth to keep the peace. It's that, gosh, girl, you're not embodied. You've lost sight of who you really are. Who am I if I'm not taking care of others? Who am I if I'm not the first one to make sure needs are met? Who am I if I'm not the friend that takes on everyone's responsibility? I mean, we just lose sight of that beautiful being under all that.
Right. Yes, definitely. So let's talk a little bit more about the nervous system framework. So you've said nervous system first. So if for someone that's not really familiar and doesn't really understand what we're saying here, what does that mean and why does that work?
So the polyvagal theory, and Dr. Stephen Porges came out with this. I mean, it hadn't been around forever. It's fairly new when it comes to theories, but he
Mhm.
recognized that when our vagus nerve, which runs from our brainstem all the way down to our tippy toes, and it goes perfectly with my chakra psychology because that's where it runs through all
Yeah.
the chakras. But when we get activated, when we're not in a nice state of just feeling calm and embodied and just fully alive, when we get upset and something activates our nervous system in a manner that has us kick into flight, where we're going to run and get away from something, or freeze, where I know a lot of folks with big T trauma, freeze is a big
Hmm.
one for them. Or there is the the fight where I'm gonna, my sister kind of kicks to that one. It just
Yeah.
depends. Well, we all have one that we kick to, or the fawn,
Right.
where I'm just gonna appease, appease, appease. We have to, when we are activated in one of those, we're not in a state for social maintenance, if you will. We're not able to connect and be socially, yeah, connected with others. That those things, it takes some work. I'm not saying you have to see a therapist, but it does take some work to really understand what's activating me. Oh my God, I want to set this boundary, but I'm terrified to set this
Mm-hmm.
boundary, and I don't even understand what's happening. When our nervous system is activated, these things come up. I just got back from Costa Rica with my kids. My husband and I took the kids.
Oh,
And they're in their
nice.
40s, grown kids. But I want to give an example of what happened when I became very activated. I am
Mm-hmm.
terrified of heights.
Yeah.
Terrified of heights. I think I will die.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what happens with our when our vagus nerve gets dysregulated or frozen or goes offline. So I'm what are we going to do as a family? We're going to go ziplining above the jungles
Yeah.
in Costa Rica. And I'm like,
Beautiful.
how beautiful. But I'm like, why do I be left out? I want to go. So we're going to the first zip line, up all these little bridges. I mean, girl, I thought I was going to wipe my pants. I was not. And so really, I got so activated that fear of death was so real. I was about to throw up. I mean, that's what your
Mm.
polyvagal, that's what when you're activated, it might not be throw up for everyone, but for me, and I'm sorry,
Mhm.
audience, and gross y'all out, but my oldest son and
Mhm.
well, I have two sons. Both my sons came and they're like, Mom, they were trying to help me get regulated, right?
Mhm.
Breathe. My youngest one, he's so sweet. He's like, you don't have to go. It's okay. And my oldest son was like, you're so brave. You can do this, Mom. And they looked me in the eyes and we were breathing together. And what happened, my very activated nervous system that thought I was about to die, my mirror neurons kicked in to their mirror neurons and I
Mhm.
calmed down and I was able to breathe because rectangle breathing is really good with that. And I was able to come back online fully and
Mhm.
go, okay, I'll try this. I quit shaking. Girl, I was
Mhm.
shaking like a leaf. But once my mirror neurons kicked back in, thanks to my sons, I was able to do that. And after the first
Mhm.
one, I was fine. But that's just an example of what happens with our nervous system. We
Mhm.
believe the thoughts that come out when we're terrified or whatever it might be and
Mhm.
react to those. Those mirror neurons are always available to us, but we just
Mhm.
have to have partners that understand how important that is. Because if in our mirror neuron circuitry, if someone escalates, we're going to escalate with them. But if they come
Mhm.
down,
Mhm.
we're more likely to come down.
So it's almost like modeling the behavior, right? Like you have someone there that's kind of modeling the behavior that you
Yeah.
need or is okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a
Very
good way to put
interesting.
it. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So how does like decades of caregiving, performance, or an emotional labor literally reshape a woman's nervous system? What has the body had to learn to do? And then how do you unlearn? And why is that so hard to unlearn?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, after decades, two things are happening. Our nervous system has been so braced to just
Mhm.
power through. That's why I'd say resilience is almost abusive.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, depending on how you use it, but when we're like, "Oh, I'm resilient, I'm going to power through this. We're so braced for so long, your nervous system has forgotten. Like I said, it's frozen in the survival mode, and pleasure is very hard to activate. It's very hard to get to. So after decades of this, it reshapes. Your body is
Hmm.
like, this chick don't do pleasure. All she
Yeah.
does is work. And she is not going to relax. Let me just tell you, if you try to get her to relax, she's going to go multitask.
Yeah.
Knit or well, knitting's not bad, but clean house and mop and do her podcast. She's not just going to sit decades upon that. We're teaching ourselves, and it's neural pathways too. We have taught ourselves that if you are not doing, you're not valuable. Your worth is
Hmm.
only tied to your performance. So
Yeah.
you better get out there and perform. And your nervous system is gonna, I mean, it's like, okay, that's what we do. We perform. And it's very hard. You've got that going. And then
Hmm.
around 50, 53, your estrogen goes, hasta la vista, baby.
Menopause sets in.
Yeah. So your brain is like, but wait, you were the buffer that helped me do all these things and not kill people while I do
Yeah.
all these things. They're gonna miss you. So in our 50s, and I think it's a gift. I really do. We can have an awakening where we're
Mhm.
like, what in the hell is going on here? You wake up in your life and you look around and think, how did I get here?
Yeah.
But estrogen helped us get there. We love it. I'm not dissing
Mhm.
it, but it helped us brace through some things and have tolerance for some things that we find no longer fit after 50, after
Mhm.
60, after 70. We want to learn how to re-regulate that nervous system and do things that feel good for us, not
Yes.
only in service. And I'm not saying we don't love others and we still show up and take, love the ones we love, but we've got to add ourselves into that love.
Yeah. And I think what you're going into with that is like a true like behavior change. Is that what you're saying? Or what? I know we said we don't start with motivation or mindset. Why is that? Why not? I guess is what I'm asking.
Sure, when our nervous system has been dysregulated for so long and we're stuck in that survival mode, until we can relax and allow that frontal cortex to come fully online, those things aren't going to be as valuable. Now, I'm not going to say
Mhm.
massaging can be great. Take a bubble bath, that's fine, but it's not going to be the absolute reset that you're needing. We need to
Mhm.
really reset that nervous system, really teach her that she can relax. I mean, a lot of times with my clients, I have them do this and
Mhm.
drop their shoulders, and they're like, "Oh my God,
Mhm.
I didn't even know I was bracing my shoulders up." So we walk around like this and don't even realize it.
I
Um,
do. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I
yeah.
do. And I was like, just when you said that, I was just like, oh, I had my shoulders up just then and I didn't even know it. It's like, oh boy.
We do that. And it really goes to neuroscience too. We've got all kinds of neural pathways that we have beat into, I got to do this. I got to do this. So we got to get our nervous system regulated so we can build some new neural pathways to bring on some behaviors and things that feel so good and so yummy to us in this next chapter. And it takes 67 days to rebuild a neural pathway and have others dissipate. So we have to have lots of love for ourselves, self-compassion. I'm real big on Mark White's narrative therapy. I use that a lot for my clients. I use it a lot for me, where we have to catch the narrative of our story, what we're telling ourselves, that's
Yes.
having us continue to kick into that dysregulated nervous system and rewrite that narrative so that it just feels smoother, more silky,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and better to ourselves. It's not one thing, it's several things we need to do to ourselves, but ultimately, we want to thaw out that nervous system so we can come back online and be really available to really be fully present in our life. Well, I spend a lot of time with my clients, my patients, learning, helping them quit being that floating head of competence and get re-embodied. Happens when we're so dysregulated, it impacts our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with others, and just what we believe we deserve, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
Um,
So how does the person, I mean, is it just kind of a trial and error, like finding things that calm me? Because I talk to women that they have like, I don't know how to calm down. I don't know, just like breathing techniques. I guess
yes.
number one, finding what helps, help what's calming, what helps bring us down, so to speak. And then once we do that, how do we know we've arrived? How do we know that we've gotten to
Yeah.
that space of regulation?
That's a great question. You're absolutely right. We're all so different. And if we have big T trauma, that's going to
Mhm.
impact how well we're able to come back online as opposed to, I think we all have little T trauma. I mean, if you survive
Mhm.
childhood, there's a little T in there. But
Yes.
I like to give my women actual physical things to do. I don't want to hurt your ears, but breathing where you kind of vibrate your throat activates
Mhm.
that vagus nerve to kind of help calm
Mhm.
down. And like when I
Mhm.
was in the tree the other day, you better bet I was, trying to calm down beyond the mirror neurons. But that's very important. Some tapping is can help very much. We have some nerve ends, especially around our collarbones. Breathing and tapping can kind of help. That feels pretty good. Okay, I can calm that thought down. Okay, that's a good thing. Visualizations can be
Mhm.
very helpful. There's like Just had a glass shower put in, a glass shower wall where emotions come at us. So we're present with the person, but those real heavy emotions stick on that glass wall and don't impact us. That can be
Mhm.
very, very helpful because our brain, when we're attending to and really connected with someone, our brain does not know their trauma is not our trauma, and your body is going to react to that. So having some things that help you not get there is a
Mhm.
good thing. The rectangle breathing, well, how's it's 4 in, hold for 4, exhale for 6. The exhale needs to be longer to really get that vagus nerve to kind of calm down. I know I've got a horse out in my pasture, Rex. He's so good. He shakes. I'm sure you've seen it with your animals, how animals shake when they get upset or
Uh,
they get up and they shake. We're
Yes.
designed to do that too. So
Mm.
getting up and shaking, if you're I'm feeling little bit tense. Oh, that's anger coming up. Let me shake. I know it sounds
Okay.
silly, but it's very helpful to be grounded.
Yeah.
The most important tool I could share with you is a
Uh-huh.
full body scan. Big deep breath,
Mhm.
approach it with curiosity and love. I just want to notice physical sensations in my body. So from your top of your head, eyes, throat, chest, tummy, all the way down
Mhm.
to your toes, approaching that with curiosity and
Mm.
just seeing what your body has to tell you. Girl, that
Mhm.
is so powerful. And
Yeah.
so many, I cannot tell you, Michelle, how often I really have to work with ladies to get them trained to even go into their body. I
Mm.
don't want to feel that.
Y- Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
want to go there. But those are
Right.
just
Yeah. No, I get
little,
it.
yeah, just little things to kind of start on that pathway. Walk outside, go on a walk
Mhm.
without a phone. We multitask so much.
Technology really does not help us in this space, because it just it keeps everything coming at us all the
A-
time.
Activated, absolutely
Hmm.
activated all the time.
Yeah.
Sit with your cat on your lap. If you have a cat, if not, go
Yes.
get one.
Uh,
But
yes, animals are great. And there's a lot of, therapeutic, yeah, tools
oh,
out there that with animals and, the whole thing of just holding an animal in your lap, how that just helps with
so
calming. Yeah.
therapeutic. And
Yes.
I research that animal. I mean, be like a lab scientist and go, what are they doing? They take such, I'm pointing to my cat, they take such good care of themselves. They stretch, they lick. She'll
Yeah.
give me the finger and walk off if she does not want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Oh, yeah. My cat will too. Oh, that's great. So, what is one thing a woman can do this week? Not a wellness trend, but something grounded in your nervous system framework that they can do to begin. I know you went through a list of things there, but if there's one thing that you do this week, what would that be?
well, it's here in Texas, it's getting a little warmer. Grounding is so important. And the reason I said getting a little warmer, I would say take your shoes off
Hmm.
and go stand on some grass somewhere. And our body needs that. We are wired for that. And just kind of rub your feet back and forth in the grass, take a big deep breath,
Hmm.
vitamin D. Vitamin D regulates our emotions. We need the sunshine just, and I'm not talking for 15 minutes, 5 minutes between something, I don't know, phone call, whatever. Walk outside and ground yourself on some grass.
I love that. Yeah.
There's a lot of research behind that too. I'm not smart enough to spout it right this moment, but I know there's a lot of research behind why that's so important.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that. So, of everything that we've been talking about here, if there's one thing what would you most want our listeners to take away from the work that you're doing?
Yeah, soul joy is there for you. We just have to quit asking permission. It's there. So go ride a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You will feel alive. That
Yes. Let's talk about your upcoming book. So, talking about desire, intimacy, and I love your title. Are we going to have sex or what? Tell us about your new book.
Oh, I am so excited for this new book. Well, it's all about nervous system regulation, really, for us gals over 50, how to
Mm-hmm.
feel alive and just reignite desire and really approach this next chapter with vibrancy. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of nervous system regulation tips talking about if our body is not broken, just because we're over 50 does not mean we can't have a fabulous sex life, fabulous desire come up. And there's lots, I mean, there's, oh my gosh, I think there's 50 chapters in that book. I wanted to be sure I hit all kinds of things, hormones, how to get yourself, if the bedroom is suffering, how to, techniques and things you can do to enjoy the bedroom again, even scripts. I've done a lot of marriage counseling over the 30 years I've been doing therapy. And I was always surprised with so many couples don't even talk to each other about sex. They don't even have words to have those conversations. Communication is an aphrodisiac. We must be communicating. So I've included scripts in the book, just, to help people get started. And here is something that's so fun. Our nervous system, it gets bored with repetition. So if you've been, like I've been married 35 years, if it's like, well, you're going to do this, I'm going to do that, we're going to do that, and your nervous checks out and goes, boring. We got to spice things up a little bit to wake it back up and get things online. So I give you tips for that.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds great. Yeah, I definitely will check that out. Is there any belief about women and aging that you'd love to see disappear forever?
Yes, that at 63, I'm going to look the same as I did at 20, and somehow something's wrong with me. Embrace aging. It's a beautiful thing. I love my gray hair,
Yeah, and speaking of hair, that's definitely, as we age, our hair changes a lot. I don't know. I have had so many like texture changes. And then when menopause started for me, like I was losing my hair, and then fortunately I got it back. And, the hair is a big deal as we age.
It is. I mean, and also I have a lot of chin hairs that I didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I just wish we women would embrace every age as a journey. I mean, this is fun. It's fun I'm the most comfortable with myself than I've ever been, which could be dangerous, but and
Good for you. That's great. I love that.
yeah, I want that for everyone.
So for people to find you, for the listeners to find you today, where your books, podcasts, best way to just reach out to you, what is that?
That is my website. I also have some freebies or a couple of fun things on there. If they go and look,
Sure.
It's www.juliemerrimanphd.com. And the books are on there. My podcast, everything's on there.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Julie, you have just been a delight. I love your energy and I just love the work you're doing. And I think that it's just so needed. I see it, the things we've talked about here. I see it in other women. I see it in myself, and it's just, just practicing that self-love, letting myself know it's not selfish to take care of myself, and that, like you said it, giving myself permission.
Yeah, it's necessary. It's necessary. We show up better when we do that for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again. And I just wish you continued success in your business and good luck as you launch your new book. I just wish you all the best.
You as well. Ditto. Right back at you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining me today on Her Comeback. I hope this conversation inspired you to keep moving forward no matter where you are in your own journey. If you love this episode, I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe to the show on my YouTube channel at Michelle Thompson Life Coaching. Go there for more encouragement, insights, and just real talk about making a comeback happen. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss new content. You can also visit hercomebackpodcast.com for notes, resources, connect with me, connect with other women in our amazing community who are rewriting their stories. Remember, your setback isn't your final chapter. It's just the setup for your greatest comeback yet. I'll see you next time. Until then.